Let's begin by offering our respects to ISKCON founder Acharya and our preeminent Shiksha Guru, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Good morning.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vande Ham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpa Taruvescha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Okay, so in the previous class, we saw the preface and we saw some words that were written by George Harrison, and we also saw the dedication that Srila Prabhupada wrote. No, he dedicated this Krishna book to his father, who had raised him in Krishna consciousness from his very childhood itself. So we saw how this knowledge is coming directly from Krishna to Brahma, and like that through the disciplic succession, through the Guru Parampara, we saw, no? And then we saw how this was put into writing for the benefit of the people of Kali Yuga. So who put all these scriptures into writing for us?
Vyasadev,
Vyasadeva.
Srila Vyasadeva, yes, very nice. So we saw how Srimad Bhagavatam is the most glorious Purana, it's Vaishnavanam Priyanam, it's the ripened fruit of the tree of Vedic knowledge. How it is Amala Purana, how it is the spotless Purana, because it speaks only about pure bhakti. So we saw how Srila Prabhupada explains that just as how when we see a murti, we see a deity, we take the darshan of the feet and then we go up, 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 up to his lotus face. Like that, the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam is the lotus face of the Lord, and therefore it is recommended that one should read the previous 9 cantos before we come to the 10th canto. But Krishna book is a commentary of the 10th canto, and we are directly reading the Krishna book. And how do we explain this? Why do we do this? How can we be qualified for doing that? Does anybody remember from the previous class? We can do it because
Because it is already interwoven the other previous cantos in the 10th canto. It's written in such a way. That is what I remember from the previous class.
okay, but still we discussed something else in the previous class. Why do we read the commentary of the 10th canto without covering the previous 9 cantos in the course? When Prabhupada said that you first read the first 9 cantos and then only you read the 10th canto. So here we have the answer in the chat. Nikita Gokani says, because we are reading under our Acharya. Yes, because we are reading under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, therefore we can read. So Krishna book has the commentary of Srila Prabhupada. It has the commentary of our founder Acharya. It has a commentary of our preeminent Shiksha Guru. Therefore, we can read. Okay. So who gave us the definition of God? We saw in the previous class. Who has given the definition of God?
Vyasadeva.
No, not Vyasadeva.
Parasara Muni.
Parashara Muni, yes. Parashara Muni gave us a definition of God, and so by this definition, God is that personality who has how many opulences?
6 opulences.
All 6 opulences.
Yes,
in
all
full.
6 opulences, and in what quantity?
In
Full
full.
quantity.
Full quantity, yes, very nice. So Krishna has all 6 opulences to unlimited or to full quantity. So therefore, the name Krishna itself means he is all attractive, because anybody who has even a little bit of these opulences naturally becomes attractive. But Krishna has all 6 opulences in full quantity. So then we saw how Srila Prabhupada explains that nobody can become God. Nobody can become God by any mystic power or any yogic meditation techniques or by any other way. Nobody can become God. God is always God. So Srila Prabhupada explained how when Krishna appeared, he appeared first in the four-handed form, and then he took the form of he appeared like a baby, no? So from the very beginning of Krishna's appearance itself, we can see that he is the supreme personality of Godhead. He appeared itself in the jail in the four-handed form. So Krishna does not become God. He is always God. Eternally, he is the supreme personality of Godhead. And then another important thing we saw was the mellows or the rasas. How many mellows or rasas or relationships are there in total?
12.
12, yes, 12. 5 major and 7 secondary, no? Or 5 primary and 7 secondary. So there are in total 12 rasas or relationships that the living entity can share with the Lord. Very nice. And Krishna is called Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu because all these rasas are there in Krishna. So he's called as Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay, so let's go to the introduction. So Srila Prabhupada starts the introduction by this famous bhajan. And then Srila Prabhupada writes, While attempting to write this book, Krishna, let me first offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master. So the first thing itself, right away, Srila Prabhupada is offering his respectful obeisances to his Guru, because without the mercy of the Guru, without the blessings of the Guru, the disciple cannot make any progress. And it's the disciple's duty to first take permission and first offer obeisances, respectful obeisances to the spiritual master. So we see how Srila Prabhupada immediately the first thing that he does is that he's offering his respectful obeisances unto his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. And after that, he offers his respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whom he writes here as the ocean of mercy. Now, why is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described as the ocean of mercy? First of all, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Who is he?
Is Krishna in the mood of Radharani?
Yes, he is Krishna himself in the mood of Srimati Radharani. No? So he is Krishna himself. He is non-different from Krishna, but he has come in the mood of a devotee. He has come in the mood of Srimati Radharani. That's why his complexion is golden, because the complexion of Srimati Radharani is golden. So therefore, the complexion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is golden because he has the mood of Srimati Radharani. And why is he called as the ocean of mercy?
Because he is very easy to please and Krishna is not very easy to please.
Okay, but what is the one thing that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that
He
even
gave
Krishna
the
did not do?
Mahamantra.
Mahamantra.
Exactly, he gave us the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now, previously it was a mantra that was in the Vedas. It was not open for everyone. Only the qualified people could receive this mantra. But what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, which even Krishna did not do, was that he opened up this mantra for everyone to chant. So anyone, anywhere, anytime can chant this Mahamantra and be supremely benefited. So therefore, he is called as the ocean of mercy. In fact, he is the most merciful of all the incarnations. No, he is even more merciful than Krishna. The mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like that. Okay. So where did he appear? In which place?
Navdeep
Mayapur,
Dham?
West Bengal.
West Bengal, Bengal.
Yes, West Bengal, Sri Mayapur Dham. There, if you visit Sri Mayapur Dham, there you can visit his place of appearance. So one may think that, okay, somebody else also may claim that I am God. No, there are so many incarnations. So we should understand, as Srila Prabhupada also teaches us, that anybody who claims that he is God should be able to do what Krishna did. No, what did Krishna do? He showed the universal form. He showed the universal form not once, not twice, but actually 5 times in total. So like that, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also showed the universal form. If you read Chaitanya Leela, you will see how even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he showed the universal form. Once to Advaita Acharya, and another time he showed the 6-handed form to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. This, if you read Chaitanya Leela, you can see the details. But even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had shown the universal form. So we should not accept anyone and everyone, anybody who claims to be God, because now in the Kali Yuga, in the modern times, unfortunately, there are many people who claim to be God, but we should not be cheated. When Krishna appeared, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, they showed the universal form. So we should not accept any cheap gods. Okay, then let's come back to the introduction. So Srila Prabhupada explains that how he belongs to the Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. This whole movement of ISKCON, we belong to the Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So therefore, here Srila Prabhupada is offering obeisances to the Sampradaya, to the Guru Parampara that he belongs to. Then Srila Prabhupada explains this Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya is also known as a Brahma Sampradaya, because this Sampradaya is originally coming from Brahma. So Lord Brahma, this whole Sampradaya is coming from Lord Brahma. Actually, there are 4 bona fide Sampradayas according to our Shastras. We have the Brahma Sampradaya, we have the Shri Sampradaya coming from Lakshmi Devi, then we have Rudra Sampradaya coming from Lord Shiva, and we have the Kumara Sampradaya coming from the 4 Kumaras. So ISKCON belongs to the Brahma Sampradaya. So we can see here Lord Brahma, then we have Narada Muni, then we have Madhvacharya. He is the Acharya of this disciplic succession. Therefore, it is in this Sampradaya we have the name Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Gaudiya stands for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So you can see here at number 22, we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then, of course, we have Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and we have Srila Prabhupada. So this is the disciplic succession, or this is the sampradaya to which ISKCON belongs. So here Srila Prabhupada is offering his obeisances to the sampradaya to which he belongs. And then he says, Sri Madhavendra Puri, the originator of the Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, was a sannyasi renunciant who belonged to the Madhvacharya disciplic succession. He had many renowned disciples such as Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, Ishvara Puri. So these are the renowned disciples. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took initiation from Ishvara Puri. So see, Ishvara Puri happened to be the spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So see, what we learn here is that even the Lord himself also accepted a guru. Sometimes people say, I don't want a guru. But even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he's Krishna himself, what is it that he does not know? What is it that he has to learn that he already is not aware of? But still, even he accepted a spiritual master, that is Ishvara Puri. So let us offer our obeisances to Ishvara Puri, Nityananda Prabhu, Shri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, Srivas Pandit, Shri Gadadhar Pandit. Next, let us offer our respectful obeisances to Swarup Damodar, who acted as a private secretary to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And let us offer our respectful obeisances to Shri Vasudev Dutt and the constant attendant of Lord Chaitanya, Shri Govinda and the constant friend of Lord Chaitanya, Mukunda, and also to Murari Gupta. And let us offer our respectful obeisances to the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. So, Srila Prabhupada is offering his obeisances, respectful obeisances to all these close associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. In short, he's offering his obeisances to all the senior devotees. He's seeking blessings from them for the writing of this book. So here you can see the entire Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. You can see this in detail when I share the slides in the group. Then Srila Prabhupada writes, Krishna himself has explained in the Bhagavad Gita that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is also very, very important that Krishna himself declares that he is God. Nobody else has declared that he is God. Of course, unless one is bogus, one will declare that. But if you go to see, no other Devata has declared that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No. Even Jesus Christ said that he is the Son of God. He never said that he is God. Prophet Muhammad said that he is the servant of God. He never said that he is God. But Krishna has said that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And why does he appear? He appears whenever there are discrepancies in the regulative principles of man's religious life and a prominence of irreligious activities. He appears on this earthly planet. In other words, when Lord Krishna appeared, there was a necessity of minimizing the load of sinful activities accumulated on this planet or in this universe. See, then very important point here. For affairs of the material creation, Lord Mahavishnu, the plenary portion of Krishna, is in charge. So who is in charge of the material affairs of the material creation? Material creation is Lord Mahavishnu. When the Lord descends, the incarnation emanates from Vishnu. So whenever there is any avatar descending, they come through the gateway of Vishnu. So they come through Vishnu. Mahavishnu is the original cause of the material creation, and from him Garbhodakashai Vishnu expands, and then Kshirodakashai Vishnu. So there are 3 Vishnus. There are 3 Vishnus: Mahavishnu, Garbhodakashai Vishnu, and Kshirodakashai Vishnu. So see, let's see here. Mahavishnu, he is also called as the Karanodakashai Vishnu. What does he do? He is creating universes by his breathing. Every time he breathes out, from every pore of his skin, an entire universe is generated. And Mahavishnu's body is very, very big, huge, unimaginably big. And so you can imagine how many pores must be there on his body. And so how many universes are being generated? Millions and millions and millions of universes are generated by his breathing. And every time he breathes in, then all the universes are going inside his body. So that is creation and destruction. No, for us it is millions of years, but for Mahavishnu it is only one breath. His one breathing out is creation, and his one breathing in means destruction. So this Mahavishnu is the first expansion in the material world. In the material world, Krishna's first expansion is Mahavishnu. So you can see Krishna expands as Mahavishnu for the sake of material creation. So he is lying in the causal ocean or the Kṛṣṇa ocean. So he's lying in this ocean and emanates millions of universes from the pores of his skin. Okay, now these universes have been created. Now what next? Now again Mahavishnu expands as Garbhodakashai ocean and he enters into each universe. So there are millions of universes, like that there are millions of Garbhodakashai Vishnus, because into each universe we have one Garbhodakashai Vishnu who is taking care, who is in charge of that particular universe, So he is lying on Ananta Shesha, and then from his navel a lotus flower springs up, grows, no? And then on top of that lotus you see the first created living entity of the universe, which is Lord Brahma, And in the stem of this lotus, we have the 14 planetary systems. You can see here in this is one universe. This is in fact our universe. So there are different universes of different sizes. Our universe is the smallest. So our universe here has 14 planetary systems. The topmost planet here is Satyaloka, or the abode of Lord Brahma. You can see here he's sitting on top of the lotus. And in the stem of that lotus, which is coming from the navel of Garbhodakashai Vishnu, in this stem are these 14 planetary systems. We are here in the middle. You can see, here, Earth planet. We are here in Burloka. And then you have the lower planetary systems. Here you have Patala Loka. So the topmost planet in the 14 planetary system is that of Lord Brahma. Then you have Tapoloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, Swargaloka, Bhuvarloka, then Bhurloka, and then you have the lower planetary systems. So this is one universe. So Garbhodakashai Vishnu is lying in the Garbhodaka ocean. When Mahavishnu expands as Garbhodakashai Vishnu, and Garbhodakashai Vishnu is inside the universe, he fills half the universe with the Garbhodaka ocean, which is his own sweat. So half the universe is filled with the Garbhodaka ocean, and then he is lying in that ocean, and then he's taking charge of that particular universe. So you can see here, this is Mahavishnu. He's creating these universes, and within each universe, you can see Garbhodakashai Vishnu is there. What is the shape of these universes? Does anybody know? What shape are they?
Egg shape.
Egg
They are
shape.
egg-shaped. Yes, they are egg-shaped. They are oval-shaped. And what color are they?
Golden.
Yes, they are golden in color. See, these universes are called Brahmand. No, universe means Brahmand. Why they are called Brahmand? First, because Brahma is the he's on the topmost planet of this universe. No, he's the presiding deity. No, the most prominent deity is called as a presiding deity. So because Lord Brahma is the presiding deity of this universe, and because they are egg-shaped, oval-shaped, therefore these universes are called as Brahmand. Okay, now what happens after Garbhodakashai Vishnu has entered into each universe? Now Garbhodakashai Vishnu expands as Shiro Dakashai Vishnu, and he is residing into the heart of each and every living entity. No, so we have Shiro Dakashai Vishnu in the heart of the ant, even in the plants and trees, even in the animals, even in the fishes, reptiles, even in our hearts. No, even in the Devatas, demigods, Kshirodakashai Vishnu is residing in the heart as the Paramatma, or the super soul. So these are the three Vishnus. No? Krishna's first expansion in the material world is Mahavishnu. From him comes Garbhodakashai Vishnu, and from him comes Kshirodakashai Vishnu. So Kshirodakashai Vishnu lies in the Kshir Sagar, or the ocean of milk. He has, of course, he is residing in the heart of every living entity, but he also has a place of residence within the universe, which is a replica of the Vaikuntha planets. No? So he is residing in the material world in his own universe, but that is, although it is in the material world, it is a replica of the Vaikuntha planet, which is in the spiritual world. So he is lying in the Kshir Sagar, or the ocean of milk. So then see here, Generally, all the incarnations appearing within this material universe are plenary expansions from Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. So, Kshirodakashayi Vishnu is the gateway through which the Lord or the expansions are appearing. Therefore, sometimes it is understood or it is said or it is believed that Krishna is an avatar of Vishnu. Because Vishnu is the gateway through which the Lord is descending. But actually, Krishna is not an avatar, Krishna is an avatari, because all the incarnations are coming from Krishna, are coming from Krishna. He is appearing through the gateway of Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, but that doesn't mean that Kshirodakashayi Vishnu is the cause for the appearance of Krishna. It is actually vice versa. Therefore, the business of minimizing the overload of sinful activities on this earth does not belong to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself. But when Krishna appears, all the Vishnu expansions join with him. So when Krishna is appearing, all these Vishnu expansions are with him. They are all coming with Krishna. Krishna's different expansions, namely Narayan, the quadruple expansion of Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha, as well as the partial plenary expansions like Matsya, the incarnation of a fish, and the Yuga avatar, incarnations for the millennium, and the Manvantara avatars, incarnations associated with the reigns of the Manus, all combine together and appear within the body of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is a complete whole. And all the plenary expansions and incarnations always live with him. So all these incarnations are always with Krishna. And when Krishna descends, they all come with Krishna. I have a chart here to explain this. See, there are 6 kinds of incarnations: Purusha avatar, Leela avatar, Guna avatar, Manvantara avatar, Yuga avatar, and Shaktavesha avatar. Purusha avatar are the 3 Vishnus. Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. Then we have Leela avatars. There are actually 25 Leela avatars where they come for a specific Leela. We have the details here in the slides, but we will not read them. You can read them when I share the slides in the group. So here, where are these Purusha avatars coming from? Where are these 3 Vishnus coming from? Because we said Mahavishnu is the first expansion of Krishna in the material world, but he is not the first expansion, because Krishna's first expansion is Balaram. Then Balaram expands to the 4 quadruple expansions of Aniruddha, Vasudev, Sankarshan and Pradyumna. Then these quadruple expansion, they expand as Narayan. Then from Narayan come the second quadruple expansion, and from the second quadruple expansion comes the 3 Vishnus. So this is how Krishna expands. So this is just to, this is not in the Krishna book, but because here Srila Prabhupada explains these different expansions here, Yuga avatar and all that, therefore we are covering this here. Okay, so here you can see the Leela avatars. As we mentioned, there are 25 Leela avatars. Then there are Guna avatars. There are 3 modes, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance: Sattva guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So there is a personality in charge of each of these 3 gunas. So Lord Vishnu is in charge of the mode of goodness, Lord Shiva is in charge of the mode of ignorance, and Lord Brahma is in charge of the mode of passion. So these are the 3 guna avatars. So please remember, that doesn't mean that Shiva is in the mode of ignorance or Brahma is in the mode of passion. No, they are in charge of those particular modes. They are only in charge of that mode. Then we have the Manvantara avatars, which means the avatars that are associated with one reign of each Manu. Now the Manu, the word man or Manushya comes from Manu. So if within one period of Lord Brahma, or within one breath of Mahavishnu, which is creation and destruction, then there are certain Manus who are reigning. Now within each, there are 14 Manus in one lifetime of Brahma, because when Brahma's lifetime comes to an end, then everything gets absorbed into the body of Mahavishnu because he's breathing in. So that is destruction. So during that one lifetime of Brahma, as long as Brahma is there, there are 14 Manus in his lifetime. Now, within each Manu, there are some avatars which descend. So, they are called as the Manvantara avatars. So, there are 14 Manvantara avatars. Then we have the Yuga avatars. There are 4 Yugas, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So, for each Yuga also there are avatars. They are called as the Yuga avatars. Then we have the Shaktavesha avatars. So, Shaktavesha avatars are those avatars who are empowered to otherwise do an impossible task. So, we discussed in the previous class how Vyasadeva is an empowered incarnation. He was empowered to put all the literatures into writing. So, here you have some other examples of Shaktavesha avatars. For example, here you have Anantadev, empowered to bear all the planets within the universe. So if you go to see here, all these universes here. So this is one universe, right? This is one universe. Like that, you see these bubbles, these are the other universes. All these universes are on the hoods of Anantadev. Here you can see down at the rock bottom. And they are really heavy. Can you imagine? I mean, our universe, which is the smallest, has 14 planetary systems. But there are universes which are much more bigger, even quadrillion times bigger than our universe. And they are all lying on the head of Anantashesha. And he feels the weight of each universe only as much as the weight of a mustard seed. It is described in our Shastras, just as how one would feel the weight of the mustard seed. That's how heavy he feels these universes are on his hoods. So he is empowered to carry all this on his. So again, he's also a Shaktavesha avatar. So these are the 6 kinds of avatars. So when Krishna descends, all the avatars are with him. He is the complete whole. Therefore, when Krishna appeared, Lord Vishnu was with him. Krishna actually appears in order to demonstrate his Vrindavan pastimes and in this way attract the fortunate conditioned souls and invite them back home, back to Godhead. The killing of the demons in Vrindavan was carried out only by the Vishnu portion of Krishna. So when Krishna appeared, Lord Vishnu is with him. And Krishna comes not to kill the demons. Actually, the killing of the demons is carried out by the Vishnu portion that is in Krishna. Krishna is only coming because he wants to attract the conditioned souls so that they can go back home, back to Godhead. If we don't get attracted to Krishna, how will we want to go to the planet where Krishna is? How will we desire to be with Krishna? So for that, we have to be attracted to Krishna. So actually, Krishna's main mission when he comes is to attract us, attract the conditioned souls back home, back to Godhead. And the killing of the demons and all other activities is carried out by the Vishnu portions. Yeah, Hari Kumar, you have raised your hand.
Yeah. So, thank you. So, see, for example, in whatever we attend a lot of programs, so there we say that Krishna takes one form, or as a kid kills various demons who are sent by Kamsa. But now here you are saying it is carried out by the Vishnu portion of Krishna. So, how I need to understand that? Because it is Krishna who is killing the demons, right? Even in all the programs, that's what I understood. So that, can you please explain me that?
Yeah, so see, within Krishna, you have all these Vishnus are also there in Krishna when Krishna is coming, right? So Krishna is killing, but actually the Vishnu within him is killing.
Okay, fine.
Okay, and also if you see Krishna and Vishnu, these terms are interchangeably used also in our Shastras many times. Okay, so when Krishna comes, all the incarnations are there with him. But when he's killing the demons, it is not Krishna, because Krishna is full of sweetness, no, all sweet. And he is more interested to bring the conditioned souls back. So externally, you see Krishna as killing, but it's the Vishnu within Krishna who's actually carrying out the killing of the demons. Okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Then Srila Prabhupada goes on to explain the spiritual world. The Lord's abode is described in the Bhagavad Gita 8 chapter 20th verse, where it is stated that there is another eternal nature, the spiritual sky, which is transcendental to this manifested and non-manifested matter. The manifested world can be seen in the form of many stars and planetary systems such as the sun and the moon. But beyond this, there is a non-manifested portion which is not approachable by anyone in this body. And beyond that non-manifested matter is the spiritual kingdom. That kingdom is described in the Bhagavad Gita as supreme and eternal, never to be annihilated, never to be destroyed. This material nature is subjected to repeated creation and annihilation, but that part, the spiritual nature, remains as it is eternally. So, beyond this material world is the spiritual world. This material world is created and destroyed, but the spiritual world is not destroyed ever. It is always existing. The spiritual world will always remain. So therefore it is called eternal. Therefore it is called eternal. So beyond this material world, which is temporary, there is a spiritual world which is eternal, which is supreme. That is the spiritual kingdom. So you can see in this picture here, we saw our universe, we saw all these bubbles, we saw Ananta Shesha, right? But beyond this is the spiritual realm. Here you can see. Beyond this is the spiritual realm. Here you can see Goloka, and the petals. See, the spiritual world is in the shape of a lotus flower. So the whirl of the lotus is Goloka, you can see in the center. And the petals of the lotus are the Vaikuntha planets, where the Lord is residing in the four-handed Narayan form. In Goloka, Krishna is residing eternally as a 16-year-old boy. So this world, this spiritual world is eternal. It will always exist. It always existed in the past. It will always exist in the future. And here this part, this material world is subject to creation and destruction by the breathing of Mahavishnu. And here you can see this material world actually is a small corner of the spiritual world. It's a small corner of the spiritual sky. So this dark is like a thick, black, dark cloud, which is one corner of the spiritual sky. So all these millions of universes that are created by the breathing of Mahavishnu are just one corner of the spiritual world. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining that beyond this material world, there is a spiritual world. The supreme abode of the personality of Godhead Krishna is described in the Brahma Samhita as the abode of Chintamani. So the spiritual world is called as the Chintamani Dham. Why Chintamani Dham? Because Chintamani means touchstone. What does a touchstone do? Anybody knows? What does a touchstone do? It converts everything to gold. Very nice. So whatever comes in touch with the touchstone, it converts to gold. So why is the spiritual world, or why is Krishna's abode called as a Chintamani Dham? Is because all the palaces there, all the places of residence there, everything is made with touchstone. It's not made with bricks and cement like how we have here. It is made of touchstone. It is made of that Chintamani. Then in the spiritual world, there are desire trees. What do we mean by desire trees?
Whatever you desire, you get it from that tree.
Yes, whatever you desire, you will get from that tree. You don't have to, if you want to eat gulab jamun, you don't have to go to the kitchen, take out the ingredients and make it. No, you just ask the tree and you will get it. So there are desire trees in the spiritual world. Then there are cows called Surabhi. What are Surabhi cows?
I think Surabhi milk, that they say milk, right? Surabhi milk, right? Unlimited.
Yes, they give unlimited supply of milk, Surabhi cows. So then the Lord is served there by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. So one may say that one is Lakpati or Karodpati or Arakpati, but only Krishna is Lakshmipati. Only Krishna is Lakshmipati. He is served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. His name is Govinda. What does that name Govinda mean?
One who gives pleasure to cows and to the senses.
One who gives pleasure to the cows, one who gives pleasure to the senses, and there is one more meaning.
And the land. And the
And
land.
yes, and the land. Yes, very nice. One who gives pleasure to the land. Very nice. The primeval Lord, and he is the cause of all causes. Primeval Lord means nobody existed before Krishna. Everybody has come from Krishna and not vice versa. He is the cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. Whatever happens can happen only because Krishna sanctions it. Without Krishna's sanction, even a leaf cannot move even 1 centimeter. So he is the cause of all causes. There the Lord plays his flute. So Krishna plays the flute. When he plays the flute, it is described that there are different melodies and he has different melodies for different purposes. No, when he wants to call all the cows, then he plays a certain melody. When he wants to attract the gopis, he plays a certain melody. When he plays a certain melody, the Yamuna starts to flow backward. It starts to flow backward. There are certain melodies which attract all the devatas. Like that, he has different melodies for different purposes. His eyes are like lotus petals. What name of Krishna means that his eyes are like lotus petals?
Kamala Nain.
Kamala Nayan. Very nice. One more name.
Kamalapatrash.
Neel Kamal.
Kamalapatraksha. Yes, very nice. The color of his body is like that of a beautiful cloud. So what is Krishna's complexion? It's the color of the rain cloud just before it starts to rain. No, therefore, see, our Shastras are so glorious. We know the exact complexion of God also. Such details also we know about God. On his head is a peacock feather, and he is so attractive that he excels thousands of cupids. What name of Krishna means that he is the attractor of thousands of cupids?
Madan Mohan?
Madan Mohan, yes, very nice. Madan Mohan. So Krishna is Madana Mohana. He excels thousands of cupids. But Srimati Radharani is Madana Mohana Mohini. She attracts that personality who attracts thousands of cupids. No? Okay. Then Lord Krishna gives only a little hint in the Gita of his personal abode, which is the supermost planet in the spiritual kingdom. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna actually appears with all his paraphernalia and demonstrates his activities in Vrindavan, then at Mathura, and then at Dwarka. The subject matter of this book will gradually reveal all these activities. So Krishna displayed his pastimes in Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwarka. So in this Krishna book, we will be seeing all these pastimes. Then Srila Prabhupada goes on to explain how Krishna appeared in the Yadu dynasty. So this is the dynasty in which he appeared, and this belongs to the moon planet, the moon god, Soma. So there are two different Kshatriya families. One is coming from the moon and the other is coming from the sun. So whenever the Lord appears, he generally appears in the Kshatriya family. Why? Because he has to establish religious principles. So therefore, the Lord usually appears, Srila Prabhupada explains, in a Kshatriya family. Lord Ramachandra, he came from the dynasty of the sun god, and therefore he is called as Raghuvamsha. And then Lord Krishna appeared in the dynasty of the moon, and his father's name, Krishna's father's name, when he appeared, Krishna appeared as the son of Vasudev, who was the son of Surasena, and they are descending from the Yadu dynasty. Then Srila Prabhupada explains that when the Lord appears in a particular dynasty, that dynasty becomes glorious. Because Krishna appeared in the Yadu dynasty became glorious. No? And then Srila Prabhupada gives the example. When sandalwood is, for example, sandalwood is produced in the states of Malaya. Sandalwood has its own qualifications apart from Malaya. But because accidentally this wood is mainly produced in the states of Malaya, it is known as Malayan sandalwood. Similarly, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, belongs to everyone. But just as the sun rises from the east, although there are other directions from which it could rise, so by his own choice, the Lord appears in a particular family, and that family becomes famous. So as explained above, when Krishna appears, all his plenary expansions appear with him. And Krishna appeared along with Balaram. So Balaram came as the elder brother of Krishna. Balaram is the first expansion of Krishna, yet he is the elder brother of Krishna. So Balaram is the origin of Sankarshan of the quadruple expansion. So remember that chart. When you see the chart, these things will be even more clear for you to understand. Balaram is also the plenary expansion of Krishna. What do we mean by the word plenary? Plenary means?
Planet.
No.
Does it mean half? Like
The same as Krishna.
part of it?
The same as Krishna. Yes, a plenary expansion of Krishna has the same power, potency, qualities as Krishna. So they are called as plenary portions. So Balaram is the plenary expansion of Krishna. In this book, and the attempt will be made to show how Krishna appeared in the family of the Yadu dynasty and how he displayed his transcendental characteristics. This is very vividly described in Srimad Bhagavatam, specifically the 10th canto, and thus the basis of this book will be the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Then Srila Prabhupada goes on to explain how the pastimes of the Lord are generally heard and relished by liberated souls. And then Prabhupada says that actually these pastimes of Krishna are so attractive that they are relishable for all classes of men. So even if one is not a transcendentalist, even if one is not on the spiritual platform, one may be completely materialistic, or one may be trying to come to the spiritual platform. Doesn't matter which stage you are in. Still, these pastimes of Krishna are very, very attractive. Krishna says, and Prabhupada says that there are three classes of men. What are these three classes? Those who are already liberated, those who are trying to be liberated, and those who are grossly materialistic. But doesn't matter which class you belong to, which of these three categories you belong to, still these pastimes of Krishna are very, very relishable by all classes of living entities. Liberated souls have no interest in materialistic activities. The impersonalist theory that after liberation one becomes inactive and need not hear anything does not prove that the liberated person is actually inactive. See, one may think that what will we do after liberation? What are we going to do after we get moksha? What are we going to do in the spiritual world? There is nothing to do. We will get bored. No, actually, the soul by nature is active. The soul by nature is active. So we need some engagement. So even when we are in the spiritual world, we are engaged in the service of Krishna. And everybody in the spiritual world has a special, unique service to render to the Lord. So the soul is always active. So even in the spiritual world, there are activities that we are going to be engaged in. So a living soul cannot be inactive. It's against the nature of the soul. You cannot do something that is against the nature. So the living soul cannot be inactive. He is active either in the conditioned state or in the liberated state. So it doesn't matter whether you are conditioned, whether you are not liberated, or whether you are in the liberated state. A diseased person, for example, is also active, but his activities are all painful. The same person, when freed from the disease condition, is still active, but in the healthy condition, the activities are full of pleasure. So if you're in the conditioned state, then the activities will be painful. If you're in the liberated state, then the activities are going to give you pleasure. Similarly, the impersonalists also only seek to get free from the disease condition activities, but they have no information of activities in the healthy condition. Those who are actually liberated and in full knowledge take to hearing the activities of Krishna. Such engagement is pure spiritual activity. So when we hear about the Lord, even that is a spiritual activity, that is a devotional service. When we hear, when we dedicate our time, our concentration, our effort in hearing about the Lord, then that is a devotional activity, that is a spiritual activity. It is essential for persons who are actually liberated to hear about the pastimes of Krishna. That is the supreme relishable subject matter for one in the liberated state. Also, if persons are trying to be liberated, hear such narrations as the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, then their path of liberation becomes very clear. So when you are liberated also, you relish it. And when you are trying to be liberated, you stand to benefit, because then you are on the way. You are on the way to go back home, back to Godhead. So Bhagavad Gita is a preliminary study of Srimad Bhagavatam. So see, Bhagavad Gita is considered to be the graduate study of the science of Krishna consciousness. Srimad Bhagavatam is considered as the postgraduate study of the science of Krishna consciousness. We have already covered Bhagavad Gita in our classes in the past. If you like, those of you who were not with us in the previous batch, you can go to my YouTube channel, Sri Namarada Devidasi JP, Sri Namarada DDJPS. No, this is the name of the channel. And here you have the playlist of all the Bhagavad Gita class, starting from chapter 1 up till the last chapter. You can watch them if you like. So Bhagavad Gita is a preliminary study of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada is explaining. By studying the Gita, one becomes fully conscious of the position of Lord Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita tells you the position of Krishna, because Krishna there declares that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything is under my control. Everything emanates from me. So you come to know what is the position of Krishna by reading the Bhagavad Gita. And when he is situated at the lotus feet of Krishna, he understands the narrations of Krishna as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So when we understand that, yes, Krishna is God, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we understand that, yes, we have to surrender unto him. And when we read the Srimad Bhagavatam in that mood of surrender, then we can understand Krishna. Otherwise, we will misunderstand Krishna to be an ordinary living entity. Now, one may say that, okay, Krishna is stealing butter and he's being naughty, but even my child can steal butter. Even my child is very naughty. So my child also is my Krishna, or my child is equal to Krishna. So, but when we read Bhagavad Gita and we understand the position of Krishna, then we will understand the activities of Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the right mood. Then we will enjoy it even more. Then we understand, oh, he's so great, but still he has taken the subordinate position of becoming, for example, the driver of Arjuna. He's taken the subordinate position of becoming a servant of Arjuna, because Arjuna tells him, move left, move right, go ahead, stop. So he's following the instructions of Arjuna. So although he's a supreme controller, he's taken the subordinate position of becoming the servant of his devotee. So then we will appreciate Krishna even more. Lord Chaitanya has therefore advised his followers that their business is to propagate Krishna Katha. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that actually we should preach and we should propagate Krishna Katha. So in fact, he says that one who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of Bharatavarsha should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. So especially if you are born in India and Bharatvarsha, then especially the duty of every Indian is to take this message of Krishna and help others benefit from this message. Then Srila Prabhupada explains that there are two kinds of Krishna Kathas. What are the two kinds of Krishna Katha? One Krishna Katha is when we hear from Krishna, and the other is when we hear about Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, we are hearing from Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear about Krishna. Not only about Krishna and his devotees, and the loving relationship between Krishna and his devotees. So there are two kinds of Krishna Kathas. So this Krishna Katha will be very much appealing to the most materialistic persons, because Krishna's pastimes with the gopis are exactly like the loving affairs between young girls and boys within this material world. Srila Prabhupada is explaining. So actually the sex feeling found in human society is not unnatural, because the same sex feeling is there in the original personality of Godhead. So we have to try to understand that whatever is there in the material world is a replica, or rather it is the inverted shadow of what is there in the spiritual world. Now in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives this example of a banyan tree on the banks of a river. So when you have a banyan tree on the bank of a river, the original banyan tree is standing straight, right? But the shadow of that banyan tree, which can be seen in the river, is inverted. So the spiritual world is like the original banyan tree that is standing straight, and the inverted reflection is like the material world. So the original banyan tree is the spiritual world, and the shadow is the material world. So all that is existing in the material world is there because actually it exists in the spiritual world. But only thing is, here it is in the inverted form, perverted form. So what is pure love in the spiritual world, it becomes lust in the material world, because that is an inverted reflection. So nothing in the material world can exist independent of Krishna. Nothing at all. Everything can exist only because it is there in the spiritual world. It is there in Krishna. So therefore, in the spiritual world, it is there in the pure form. Here it is in the contaminated form, in the inverted reflection form, perverted minute condition. So when we read about the pastimes of Krishnas with the gopis, then the material disease of lust within the heart of the living entity will be vanquished. So when we read such pastimes, then the material disease of lust, because it is in the material world, it is in the inverted, perverted condition, that will be removed. That disease, that perverted disease will be removed, and we will be able to come to the level of pure love for God. And then Srila Prabhupada explains that Krishna Katha is equally applicable to every human being, whatever condition of life he is in. whatever condition of life he is in. So it's not that it is only for one particular category of people. It is for every category of people. In fact, it is for everyone. One may be Indian, one may be American, one may be Hindu, one may be Christian, one may be Muslim, one may be rich or poor, one may be man or woman, one may be child or adult or in the advanced age. It is actually equally applicable to every human being. It is attractive to everyone. Srila, I'm sorry, here. But Maharaj Parikshit warned that persons who are simply engaged in killing animals and in killing themselves may not be very much attracted to Krishna Katha. So what do you mean by killing themselves? See, when we are engaged in sinful activities like meat eating, intoxication, illicit relationships, and gambling, then it is equal to killing ourselves, because these activities are taking us away from God. These sinful activities are taking us away from our pure state of being a part and parcel of Krishna. It is making us turn our face away from the Lord. So that is equal to committing a spiritual suicide, equal to committing a spiritual suicide. So that is also called as Pashugna. Pashugna means that we are killing ourselves. So persons who are not self-realized and who are not interested in spiritual realization are killing themselves. They are committing suicide, Srila Prabhupada explains. So such people cannot be interested in Krishna Katha. So King Parikshit, who was Maharaj Parikshit?
The grandson
He
of
was a son of
Grandson of Arjuna.
Grandson of Arjuna and the son of
Abhimanyu.
Abhimanyu. Yes. So Maharaj Parikshit is the grandson of Arjuna. And how did he benefit from Krishna? How did he benefit? What is the special mercy that he received?
Basically,
He saw him in the
he was
womb.
in the womb, I think, right? When he recited. That's what I
Yes.
remember.
Yes, Maharaj Parikshit actually saw Krishna personally when he was still in the womb of his mother. So he was really very glorious. And he was the one who heard Krishna Katha from whom?
Vyasadev.
Not Vyasadeva.
No, because of
Sukadeva Goswami.
No.
Krishna itself, na? Because he was in the
Sukadeva
womb,
Goswami.
na? So Krishna would have recited, right? Or no? I don't know.
Srimad Bhagavatam was recited to Maharaj Parikshit by whom?
By Sukadeva Goswami,
By Sukadeva Goswami. Yes. Who is Sukadeva Goswami?
son of Vyasadeva.
Son of Vyasadeva.
Son of Vyasadeva. Yes. Actually, both these personalities are very, very special. Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami, which Srila Prabhupada is going to explain very soon. We will see that. So Maharaj Parikshit was especially interested in hearing Krishna Katha because he knew that his forefathers, particularly his grandfather Arjuna, were victorious in the great battle of Kurukshetra only because of Krishna. So even though Arjuna was very, very talented, he was a great archer, but he was victorious in the battle only because of Krishna. If Krishna was not there on the battlefield, Arjuna may not have been able to win that war. Because many a times Krishna has actually saved Arjuna's life in that battlefield. So we may also take this material world as a battle of Kurukshetra. So yes, we, like Arjuna, we are all fighting our own battles. We are all fighting our own battles. We have our own issues, problems, obstacles, our stress points. Some of us may have relationship issues. Some of us may have financial issues. So we are all fighting our own battles. So we can also be victorious in our battles in life if we can surrender to Krishna, just as how Arjuna surrendered to Krishna. According to Maharaj Parikshit, the battlefield of Kurukshetra was just like a vast ocean full of dangerous animals. His grandfather Arjuna had to fight with such great heroes as Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and many others who were not ordinary fighters. Such warriors have been compared to the Timingala fish in the ocean. So this Timingala fish can very easily swallow even big whales. So the great fighters on the battlefield of Kurukshetra could swallow many Arjunas very easily, but simply due to Krishna's mercy, Arjuna was able to kill all of them. Just as us, see, this is very, very important. Just as one can cross with no exertion over the little bit of water contained in the hoof print of a calf, so Arjuna, by the grace of Krishna, was able to very easily jump over the ocean of the battle of Kurukshetra. So see, if one has a vast ocean, no, that vast ocean we cannot cross. Even an expert swimmer cannot cross that vast ocean. But anybody can definitely very easily cross over the ocean. I'm sorry, cross over water that is there in the hoof print of a small calf. No, if you know the calf, already the calf is small. His hoof print is so small. If there is some water in that, who cannot cross over that? Even a small child can cross over that water. So when we surrender to the Lord, then that vast ocean, the water in the vast ocean is reduced to the water that is held in the footprint of a calf. Very easily we can overcome. Otherwise, who can overcome a vast ocean? So this is actually a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. The verse says, for those who have accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari, the enemy of the Mura demon, the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in the calf's hoof print. Their goal is Parampadam, Vaikuntha, the place where there are no material miseries, not the place where there is danger at every step. So when we take shelter of Murari, when we take shelter of Krishna, then the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in the calf's hoof print, which can be very easily crossed over. This Vaikuntha, as we discussed, the petals of the spiritual world, of the petals of the lotus in the spiritual world, those are the Vaikuntha planets. What does that name Vaikuntha mean? Vaikuntha means a place where there is no anxiety. Here there are so many anxieties we have to face every day, every month, every year. But Vaikuntha is the place where there is no anxiety, no anxiety at all. Maharaj Parikshit very much appreciated Krishna's activities for many other reasons. Not only was his grandfather saved by Krishna, but he himself also was saved by Krishna. So we just discussed how Maharaj Parikshit was saved by Krishna. Krishna entered the womb of his mother and saved him from the Brahmastra, which was sent by, who sent that Brahmastra to kill him in the womb?
Ashwadhama.
Ashwadhama, yes. By the end of the battle of Kurukshetra, all the members of the Kuru dynasty, both the sons and grandsons on the side of Dhritarashtra and those on the side of Pandavas, had died in the battlefield. Except the 5 Pandava brothers, everyone died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Maharaj Parikshit, at that time, within the womb of his mother, was in the womb of his mother. His father Abhimanyu, the son of Arjuna, also died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And so Maharaj Parikshit was the posthumous child. When he was in the womb of his mother, a Brahmastra weapon was released by Ashwadhama to kill the child. When Maharaj Parikshit's mother Uttara approached Krishna, Krishna, seeing the danger of abortion, entered her womb as a super soul and saved Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit's other name is Vishnu Ratha because he was saved by Lord Vishnu himself while still within the womb. Thus, everyone in any condition of life should be interested in hearing about Krishna and his activities because he is the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead. He is all pervading. How is Krishna all pervading? How is he omnipresent? Because he is in the heart of every living entity. He is living in the heart of every living entity as the Paramatma or the super soul. And outside he is living in his universal form. So all this material manifestation also, everything is coming from Krishna. And yet, as described in the Bhagavad Gita, he appears as he is in the human society just to invite everyone to his transcendental abode back home, back to God. So this is the chief mission of Krishna. He wants to attract everyone, invite all of us. Please come back home, back to Godhead. Come back to the spiritual world. Come back to me. Everyone should be interested in knowing about Krishna, and this book is presented with this purpose, that people may know about Krishna and be perfectly benefited in this human form of life. In the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Baladev is described as a son of Rohini, a son of Vasudev. Vasudev, the father of Krishna, had 16 wives, and one of them was Rohini, the mother of Baladev. But Baladev is also described as a son of Devaki. So how could he be the son of both Devaki and Rohini? Now, what name of Baladev means that he is the son of Devaki? What name of Balaram means that he is the son of Devaki?
Devaki Nandan?
Devaki Nandan, yes, very nice. And son of Rohini?
Rohini Nandan.
Rohini Nandan, yes, very nice. So this was one of the questions put by Maharaj Parikshit to Sukadeva Goswami, and it will be answered in due course. Maharaj Parikshit also asked Sukadeva Goswami why Krishna, just after his appearance as a son of Vasudev, was immediately carried to the house of Nanda Maharaj in Vrindavan Gokul. He also wanted to know what the activities of Lord Krishna were while he was in Vrindavan and while he was in Mathura. Besides that, he was especially inquisitive to know why Krishna killed his maternal uncle Kamsa. Kamsa, being the brother of his mother, was a very intimate superior to Krishna. So how was it that he killed Kamsa? Also, Maharaj Parikshit asked how many years Lord Krishna remained in the human society, how many years he reigned over the kingdom of Dwaraka, and how many wives he accepted there. So these are all the questions that Maharaj Parikshit is asking to Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami, as he answers these questions, this is what is there in the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. No? So it's a conversation between Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami. It happened over a period of 7 days. Maharaj Parikshit was cursed to die within 7 days. He went in search of the absolute truth. He comes across Sukadeva Goswami. He asks the very important, crucial questions to him. And then as he answers those questions, that forms this Srimad Bhagavatam, this nectarian Srimad Bhagavatam. This is how we have got. A Kshatriya king is generally accustomed to accept more than one wife. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit also inquired about his number of wives. The subject matter of this book is Sukadeva Goswami is answering all of these questions and other questions by Maharaj Parikshit. So see, it is when one asks important questions, it is a sign of intelligence. Never has Srila Prabhupada encouraged that we should blindly accept. No, don't have blind faith. You ask the questions. Why? How is it that this is correct? We have every right to ask such important questions to our spiritual master, to our superior. So we can definitely ask the questions. We don't have to blindly follow. The position of Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami is unique. Why it is unique? As we discussed, both of them had received special mercy. Who is this personality on the left? We have already discussed.
Parikshit Maharaj.
Yes, this is Maharaj Parikshit, and we can see how Krishna has entered the womb of Uttara to save him from the Brahmastra. Now, who is this personality here? Who is he?
Sukadeva Goswami.
No,
This is Krishna.
Yeah, this personality here is Krishna. Who is this person here?
Vyasadeva.
Vyasadeva. And who is this in the womb of his mother?
Sukadeva.
Sukadeva Goswami.
So what is Krishna doing here in Vyasadev's house, and what is he speaking? What happened there?
He's telling him to come out because Sukadeva Goswami, he has been in his mother's room for way too long because he never wanted to come out.
Okay. And why he didn't want to come out?
He still wanted to be with Godhead.
Because the Maya will catch him and he doesn't want to.
Exactly. He didn't want to fall into Maya. He said that if I come out, then I will fall into Maya. No. So he was in the womb of his mother for how many years?
17 years.
16 years. No, 16 years. And then finally, how did he come out?
Krishna convinced him to come out and said that he will always be protected by him so that he won't get indulged in Maya.
Yes, see, upon Vyasadev's request, Krishna went to Vyasadev's kutir and he spoke to Sukadeva Goswami in the womb of his mother, and he promised him, he assured him that you please come out, you will not fall into Maya. Only then he came out of the womb of his mother. So both these personalities, the speaker and the hearer of the Srimad Bhagavatam, one has seen Krishna, one has heard Krishna in the wombs of their mothers itself. So they are both very, very special personalities. So see, Srila Prabhupada writes.
Sukadeva Goswami.
Sorry, what's that?
Who was the mother of Sukadeva Goswami?
Her name was Bitika.
Bitika.
Yeah.
So Vedavasa was actually married.
Yes, he was a Grihastha. Yes.
Okay.
See here, you can see when the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken, Sukadeva Goswami is on the throne and Maharaj Parikshit is taken a subordinate position. And this time Sukadeva Goswami was only 16 years old. No, but although he was only 16 years old, he was fully self-realized. Actually, he was fully self-realized when he was in the womb of his mother itself. So when this great literature was spoken, you can see great personalities. They all sat down there to hear this katha. You can see Narada Muni is in the audience. Even Vyasadeva was in the audience when his son spoke this great literature to Maharaj Parikshit. So this narration was presented by Sukadeva Goswami when Maharaj Parikshit was prepared to give up his body fasting on the bank of the Ganges. So this was spoken on the banks of the river Ganges, and there was no hunger and thirst. No, Maharaj Parikshit did not feel any hunger or thirst for 7 continuous days and nights. This katha was spoken. That's why nowadays you will have people doing what you called as Bhagavat Sapta. Bhagavat Sapta, because this katha was spoken in 7 days and nights. No, and that time Maharaj Parikshit was not interested in eating or sleeping or drinking. No, he was just focused on the Krishna katha. He was especially intent on the subject matter because he was expecting death at any moment. So he knew that death is going to strike because he was cursed to die within 7 days. He knew that death is going to strike soon. So therefore he was specially intent on hearing this subject matter. Now we may not be so fortunate like Maharaj Parikshit. We may not know when death is going to strike. No, we may not know. He knew that within 7 days, but we may not know that. No. So therefore, we should be engaged in Krishna Katha because actually death can strike at any time. Maybe within the next 1 moment or within the next 10 years or 100 years, who knows. But nobody can be assured that, yes, I will be alive the next moment. So because death can strike at any time, we must be fully Krishna consciousness. Fully Krishna conscious. At the point of his death, King Parikshit was hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami. When King Parikshit expressed his untiring desire to hear about Krishna, Sukadeva Goswami was very much pleased. Sukadeva was the greatest of all Bhagavata reciters, and thus he began to speak about Krishna's pastimes, which destroy all inauspiciousness in this age of Kali. Sukadeva Goswami thanked the king for his eagerness to hear about Krishna, and he encouraged him by saying, "My dear king, your intelligence is very keen because you are so eager to hear about the pastimes of Krishna." So this is enthusiasm is very, very important in Krishna consciousness. Now, one should be enthusiastic to serve. One must be enthusiastic to do seva, to hear about the Lord, to chant about the glories of the Lord, to chant the holy name. Enthusiasm, utsaha, is very, very important quality to have in Krishna consciousness. He informed Maharaj Parikshit that hearing and chanting the pastimes of Krishna are so auspicious that the process purify the 3 varieties of men involved. He who recites the transcendental topics of Krishna, he who hears such topics, and he who inquires about him. So one who speaks is benefiting, one who hears is also benefiting, and one who inquires about this subject matter also benefits. So it's a win-win situation for all the parties. Nobody stands to lose anything. These pastimes are just like the Ganges water which flows from the toe of Lord Vishnu. They purify the 3 worlds, the upper, middle, and lower planetary systems. So Ganges water flows from the toe of Lord Vishnu, specifically which incarnation is the Ganges water flowing from? The toe of which incarnation?
Vamanadev.
Vamanadev. When did that happen? How come Ganges is flowing from the toe of Vamanadev?
When he
When
covered
Bali
the
Maharaj.
3 universes.
When he
wanted to cover the universe with 3 steps.
Yes, when he took 3 steps, because because Bali Maharaj said that, okay, I give you 3 steps of land, and then he expanded himself. So with 1 step, he covered everything on the earth, no? And when he when he lifted his leg to take the 2nd step to cover everything which was above land, everything in space, that time the tip of his toe pierced the outer covering of the universe, and because of the piercing of the outer covering of the universe, the water trickled in, the Ganges water trickled in, and it's coming through his toe, and then it's coming into the universe and purifying the 14 planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. So therefore Ganges is touching the toe of Vamadev, is touching the toe of Lord Vishnu. So it's not an ordinary water. It's not ordinary water. It's purifying. It purifies the 3 worlds. So Krishna has threefold pastimes, the Vraja Leela, the Mathura Leela, and the Dwarka Leela. You can see here how it is split up. We have total of 90 chapters. And chapters 1 to 4 describe Lord Brahma's prayers and then the appearance of Krishna. 5 to 39 we see his Vrindavan pastimes. And then 40 we see the pastime when he was taken from Vrindavan to Mathura. No. 41 to 51 we will see Krishna's pastimes in Mathura, and 52 to 90 you will see Krishna's pastimes in Dwaraka. So with this, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we come to the end of today's presentation. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Do you have any questions or comments?
So, Sam, one small thing. Basically, you told about the three forms of Krishna, right? One is Mahavishnu, other is
Garbhodakashaya Vishnu,
Brahma, and the third is
Kshirodakashaya Vishnu.
Kshirodaya Vishnu. Okay, these are three forms, basically, or three.
They are the three Vishnus. Krishna
three
first
Vishnus.
expands. Yeah, in the material world, first comes Mahavishnu. From Mahavishnu, then Mahavishnu expands as Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. Then Garbhodakashaya Vishnu expands as Kshirodakashaya Vishnu.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you hear me? We have always heard that Ganges flew from Shiva's hair.
Yes.
Tatas.
Yes.
Now we are hearing from Vamadev. So what is this confusion about?
Yeah, so both are happening now, because Vamadev is piercing the outer covering of the universe, the water is trickling in, and then Lord Shiva takes it upon his head so that it doesn't hit the earth with full force. Yes, so it is coming from there. And then Lord, yeah, and actually Brahma also, because see, the topmost planetary system is Lord Brahma, no? So the water is coming from the toe of Vamanadev. Then Lord Shiva is taking it on his head, and then Lord Brahma washes that. He washes the lotus feet of Vamanadev from the water in his pot. No, Kamandala, it's called. I think so. So Brahma is also washing the lotus feet of Vamanadev. So that water is a combination of all that. Ganges is a combination of all that actually. It's happening. Lord Shiva also is taking it on his head. It's also coming from the toe of Vamanadev, and also it is a water that is coming from the pot of Lord Brahma. Okay? Does that answer your question?
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Priyanka, you have a question?
Yes, Mataji, there is one line written that all incarnations appearing within this material universe are plenary expansion from Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu responsible for two things, like they are also sitting as Paramatma in our heart, and also the avatars or the incarnations of Krishna are coming from Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So they are playing two roles. Just
Exactly.
wanted to clarify.
Yes, exactly. Your understanding is correct. So Kshirodakashaya Vishnu is the gateway through which, it's not that they are coming from the body of Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, okay, but it's the gateway. Kshirodakashaya is the gateway through which they are coming into this material world.
Oh, okay.
Okay, they are not expand. Krishna comes or Balaram comes, they all come through the gateway of Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, but that doesn't mean that they are coming from Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. They are descending through that gate, they are coming. That's like a door through which they are coming.
Then what about the super soul sitting in our heart?
Also,
of
course, see, Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, he's all powerful or potent. He can do multiple tasks at a time. So he is playing that role also. See, he is residing in our hearts, but he also has his place of residence, which I said is the spiritual world within the material world. So he's residing there as well, and he's also in the hearts of every living entity. Both. He's doing both.
One more question.
Yes.
One more question is that in that very same paragraph, the first line is that for affairs of the material creation, Lord Mahavishnu, the plenary portion of Krishna, is in charge. So I was just wondering, when the period of Brahma gets over, does Mahavishnu also disappear, or is he temporary or permanent?
No, Mahavishnu is not temporary. He is permanent. Because see, when he breathes in, there is destruction, right? But again, he is going to breathe out. For him, it's only one breath.
Okay. So can we say that Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is temporary?
Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, along with all the universes, they go into the body of Mahavishnu. He is residing in the body of Mahavishnu. When he breathes out, again, he is expanding from his body. He doesn't die as such. You cannot use the word die. He goes inside the body of Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, along all the Garbhodakashaya Vishnus, along with all the universes, all the planets, go into the body of Mahavishnu. And again, they come out when he breathes out.
See, but the same is not true for Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. I heard somewhere else that
See, Lord Brahma is a post. Okay, Brahma is a post. When Brahma's 100 years finish, then another living entity is appointed to the post of Lord Brahma. Okay, because the soul never dies. So one who's qualified becomes Lord Brahma. Then he lives as Lord Brahma for 100 of his years. For us, it is 311 trillion and 40 billion years, according to human years, right? But for 100 years of Lord Brahma, when Brahma dies, then another person is appointed as Lord Brahma. And the living entity who was Lord Brahma previously, either he gets an upgrade and he goes to the spiritual world. If he has practiced bhakti on Brahma Loka, he goes to the spiritual world, which is more probable. But if he has not, then again he has to take another birth. Okay? You're welcome. Anything else? Okay, then, since there are no more questions, now it's time for our diagnostic test. I'm going to share the link here in the chat, and you will have 15 minutes to submit it. It's based on today's class and the previous class. It's very, very simple, very easy. So give me a minute. Let me share the link. Yes. Oh, 1 second. So I have sent a link in the chat. Can you all access it?
1 minute. Yes, I think that.
Okay, so please click on the link and start your diagnostic test. And when you hit the submit button, then you know that you're done with it. You have 15 minutes. The timer has started. You can see it on your screen. Okay, so now that we have finished our exam, is there any other question or comment? No question or no comments?
Yeah, I got 3 wrong. So
Yeah,
basically,
no
my
problem.
question is for those 3 exactly where I went wrong.
Okay. So were you
So
able to see where you went wrong?
Yeah, but I'm not there at this moment, so I don't remember exactly where I went wrong.
Okay, I will check up and I'll WhatsApp you.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mata, this timer of the clock of the test, that whenever the test is given, the timer is on. Is this going to continue during the process of the year, the 90? And in that timer, we have to what if we go above the timer? Like if we are doing it, selecting it, and it's above the.
No,
then
you
what?
have to submit within 15 minutes because that's the whole idea of this exam. There is no more than 15 minutes. You have to submit. If you cannot finish it within 15 minutes, then you submit whatever you have finished. But you have to hit the submit before 15 minutes. Okay.
It won't get, the complete thing will not get rejected though, right?
No, it will not get rejected. You submit whatever you have already answered. That's all.
Okay, all right. Okay, thanks.
All right.
And will it be always like this, a short test?
Yes, always like this. Yes.
Good.
Okay, then. All right. Thank you all very much for joining. Have a nice week in Krishna consciousness. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.